Hello, good morning. Well, it's Monday, the 1st of July, 10:30 AM in the morning. This is Green Park Railway Station. It was a former railway station. It's one of the victims of the beaching acts in the 1960s. So I'm setting off here and I'm going to replicate a journey along the Somerset Dorset Railway as far as Windsor Hill tunnels. So the railway originally ran from Bath to Bournemouth and it went over the Mendip hills at over 800 feet. So I'm going to be doing this section of the ride from Bath up to Masbury Summit, and then just over the summit as it starts dropping down steeply towards Shepton Mallet. There's two tunnels which go through Windsor Hill. I'm going to be camping hopefully near those tonight and exploring the tunnels after dark. So half a mile after leaving Green Park Station, I'm outside the Royal Oak pub on the Lower Bristol Road. The Somerset and Dorset itself started or finished, whichever way you were travelling, from round about there. It branched off of the Bath to Bristol Midland line, and actually there was a viaduct which took it almost directly over this pub. So from now on I'm going to refer to this journey in the direction I'm taking it. So the start of the Somerset Dorset branched off on a curve over a steel bridge straight onto a brickwork viaduct and then onto this. This is the old track bed, and this continues right the way until Wellow. I'm just about to leave the track bed as the line passes through what is now Wellow Stables. There just happens to be a cafe there, so it's an ideal place to stop, have a bit of lunch and just chill out. So I'm now in the lovely village of Wellow. In fact, I'm in Station Road in Wellow. In fact, that in front of me is the old station. Several of the stations along the old line are actually now private dwellings. And what stands out about this one for me, apart from its stunning location and its pretty cool weather vane, is the fact that one of its early owners as a residence was the artist Peter Blake. Peter Blake was the person who designed the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper album cover. Iconic album, very iconic album cover. So I'm now in the Wellow Valley. This is absolutely stunning around here. Just over that hill is where I did my wild camp at Stony Littleton Longbarrow about a week ago. So about a third of the entire Somerset and Dorset Railway is rideable actually in one form or another. But the rest of it, about 6 years ago, I worked out a route that would parallel it and cross it in many places. And combined, I think it's actually spectacular. This is one of my favourite parts of it actually. And if you imagine, say, Salisbury Cathedral or York Minster, yes, they're fantastic inside, but they also look good from a distance, which is why I like riding this route so much. You get both sort of perspectives, the line side perspective and the distance perspective. So I'm now still in the Wellow Valley, actually stood right above the Wellow Brook, and at the moment I'm still running parallel to the railway and crossing it in places. But look at this for an old artefact. As I said earlier on, people live in some of the stations. These people have actually converted an old viaduct into a dwelling. How cool is that? Soon after passing Foxcote Viaduct, we returned to the track bed, and this leads all the way into Radstock and beyond now. But just at this spot is the scene of a really bad accident on 7th of August 1876 at approximately 11:20 p.m. So I'm not going to share my thoughts about this area, I'll just read straight from the board. The day of the accident was a bank holiday Monday, and the railway had been busy with an additional 17 excursion trains, as well as 7 scheduled on the timetable, all running on a route that was until the 1890s single track with passing places. Exact details of the events which led up to the tragedy are confused and were not fully explained by the subsequent Board of Trade inquiry, which was published in November of that year. A summary of the factors are: it was at the end of a 12-hour shift with some staff working longer. Those controlling the signals and passing places were young and inexperienced, the oldest being 18 and the youngest just 15. A number of trains that day, including the 2 involved, were either very late or not scheduled. Procedures were not followed and communications between signal boxes were not working properly. Signals were not lit because of the lack of paraffin and were not correctly positioned because the young signalman lacked the strength to fully operate the levers. Both trains had been released onto the single track at the same time. The Wimborne to Bath train had just left Braesdown Colliery siding and was on the main line. Unaware, the Bath to Radstock train was on the same track and going at full speed. The accident resulted in 13 fatalities and at least 5 serious injuries. The bodies of those that died were taken to the granary at Paglinch Farm, which was used as a temporary morgue. This was the worst accident in the history of the Somerset and Dorset. At this bridge, each one of them are numbered from Bath. Just to think of this is bridge number 33, and of those bridges some of them are really big viaducts. There's 2 really big tunnels as well. So I haven't even covered 5 miles yet, 4.7 miles from Green Park, 33 bridges. you could see why building this bankrupted the original company. I'm now in Radstock and I've just crossed the main Bath to Shepton Mallet Road. Where that colliery wheel is, that's the site of the old Somerset and Dorset railway station. Right next to it originally was a Great Western Railway station, so the two lines were right next to each other here. This is the start of the notorious climb up over the Mendip. It's a 7-mile steep climb, and within half a mile this line crosses that line. That's how steeply it's climbing. I'm going to try and do a now and then comparison in about half a mile.